enormous appreciation that we have for you being willing not just to be here on this ship and in this forum, but to be in these bodies and on this leading edge. How much appreciation we know and are wanting to express to you about your willingness and in many cases powerful thirst to be physically focused and exploring contrast. The appreciation that we feel about your willingness to explore the contrast and about your willingness to choose from the contrast those things that matter the most to you. And so, in acknowledging your humanness and your wonderful decision to be in these bodies, we are acknowledging the vibrational reality that you have created, that exists as our now reality. In other words, we want to say to you that in most cases without knowing it, you have provided the platform that eternity is based on. And you are not giving yourself enough credit for what that means. That the very existence of all that is possible because of your willingness to be leading edge creators, to explore and to come to your own conclusions, and sometimes to not like what you see, and sometimes to like more what you see. But then there's a sort of powerful rocket of desire that happens even to us, that makes us want to express an appreciation to you that you now are ready to hear, that you have now prepared yourselves to be the understanders not only of the way the universe works, but the understanders of the vibrational reality that precedes all manifestation that is worthwhile and that is wanted. We want to express our appreciation to you for your willingness to play with us as we are rather slow going through these laws of the universe. And we want you to feel the exhilaration that we felt as impulse by impulse you got another aha and another aha as you began to recognize how this all fits together. And now you are perched upon this leading edge where you are unlike the majority of the people who are on this planet now or who have ever been on this planet. You are in a position where you can consciously and deliberately tap in to all this vibrational reality for which we are feeling enormous appreciation, which is where you are going to begin to receive the appreciation about yourselves and others that you were born to feel. In other words, you've taken this willingness to explore vibration and to explore contrast to a whole new level. You've put yourself in a position where you are consciously choosing, and now you're putting yourself in a position where you can consciously receive the benefit of that, which means that everyone around you will benefit by their exposure to you, not because you were able to put words from your mouth to their ears about what's taken place here, but because you are in a different vibrational place where you are understanding more how this all works, and more important, because you will be the deliberate receiver of understanding of things as they move forward for you in the days that are to come. In other words, so many of the questions that you want to ask us will be answered momentarily, moment by moment, as you are moving through time. In other words, you are tuning in to the same frequency that Esther is tuned into, and in the same way that she can receive this real-time, live response to questions that are active within you, you can receive them too, and many of you have been. Have you been noticing it? Don't you almost always know what we are going to say once you hear the question? You do, don't you? And it's not just because you're remembering what we've said before, because we've never said exactly the same thing twice. And in this gathering particularly, we are saying to you things that we have not said before, and yet still you stand in anticipation of them because you are ready to be ready. Life is just getting ready to be really good for you. In other words, there are a few more days of meditation that are ahead of you before you really get what we're saying to you right here and now. But we are so appreciative of your willingness to play with us in this way, because this is for sure. As you are moving through your lives in this day and the days that follow, we are moving through with you. And we are aware of what your path of least resistance is. We know what the easiest way for you to know who you really are is. And we are offering it to you with the pronounced offering because of the asking that has taken place as we've been here together. In other words, in essence, you have given us permission, and don't worry, if you want to take it back, that's fine too. But you've given us permission to walk with you, to know with you, and to advocate on your behalf. And so you're going to feel more energy around you, more of us aware of what you are up to, more enthusiasm for your days, and more satisfaction about things that formerly, frankly, didn't seem like they should be that satisfying. Others who have not made this increase in vibration with you are maybe going to think you're a little nutty or a little over the top when you're feeling so good about things that are not all, by their standards, that spectacular. Because after all, they want the full manifestation before they're going to have their very short-lived celebration. But you, because you've been ready to be ready to be ready to be ready, are having the celebrations all the way along the way, which is really what happily ever after is all about. When we last saw you in your non-physical form, we had a discussion with you where we said to you, and you said to us these things. You said, I will go forward into the physical, and I will do my best to know that you are there with me. But I may lose my way in that. And we said, don't worry, we will be aware of you, and we will not let loose of the sight of you. You said, I am eager to explore the contrast, because I know that from it will come new ideas. I know that my primary contribution to this longevity of eternalness is that I will go forth and explore. Not one time did you use the word sacrifice. You said, I will go forth and I will eagerly engage in a variety of experiences from which, you knew this then, from which I will feel clarity about what I am choosing. And we said, and each time you choose, we will ride the rocket of your desire. We will amplify what you have chosen. We will hold it steady while it is blended into the mix of all that you have chosen before and all other things that you have chosen just recently. We will keep the light on for you. We'll keep the vibration of that active for you by our attention to it and law of attraction's response to our attention to it. Who you really are will be the most profound and active vibration. Not just regurgitating who you were before you went into this body, but bringing the whole of all of that into who you now are as a result of being in this body. And you said, I will listen for your calling. And we said, we will ever be calling you home to who you are. So here we've come full circle. You've kept your promise to us, and we've kept our promise to you. And now you're moving forward in the days to continue, as you are going to continue that promise of exploring the contrast and putting more into the vortex for this generation and those that follow to benefit by the wisdom of your comparative experience. And your inner being and the inner beings of everyone in this room and those like us who are teachers of such will be standing in amazed delight at the things that you are figuring out, that you are wanting in taking this eternalness forward. There's such exhilaration about what's taken place here. And while we know that you're not quite ready to be 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 ready to feel it in all of the exaltation and appreciation and enthusiasm that we are feeling, we want you to know that we'll hold our level of enthusiasm steady for you, and you can catch up with it anytime you feel ready to. There's great opportunity.